Hello again. So in this video, we're going to talk about the bridge pose and crab, both of which really strengthen the back of your body. And they also stretch the front of your body, stretch through your chest, stretch your hips, and each posture is going to do it in a slightly different way, and you'll feel it in slightly different places. So first things first, let's get into our bridge pose. So bridge starts on your back, and you want your feet in nice and close. So grab a hold of those ankles. Feet are going to be close. Your ankles are about hip distance and your knees are about hip distance. So that's not that wide. That's like two fists side by side between your heels, between your knees. That's about hip distance. So you want to keep those knees right above your ankles. So we're going to start by flattening our shoulders into the floor, getting a nice flat even balance across the backs of our shoulders. Palms flat on the floor, arms are reaching down. So activate the muscles in your arms. Kind of press your arms down into the floor. Get those muscles in your upper back starting to work already. Keeping your head on the floor, keeping your nose pointed at the ceiling, because there will be a tiny bit of weight in your neck. So whenever you have weight in your neck, you don't want to start turning your head. So keep your nose pointed at the ceiling. Think of lengthening the back of your neck, almost as if you're trying to press the back of your neck and flatten it into the floor. Then press your feet into the floor, squeeze your butt, and you're going to lift your hips. So this is your basic bridge. Really focus on squeezing your butt. And again, you got to focus on keeping your knees over your ankles and all of that parallel, because as soon as you squeeze, if your hips are tight, you're going to want to go into external rotation, which means those knees are going to start to open out. So keep those knees squeezing towards one another. So that is kind of your basic bridge. You're going to feel that a lot in your glutes, in your hamstrings, maybe even a little bit in your quads. And then bring it back down, take a little break. You can pull your knees into your chest and just give yourself a little lower back massage if that feels good. Now here's the next step to our bridge. Same setup, same lift with your hips, but we're going to make this a little deeper for the thoracic spine. That's a spot up between your shoulder blades. So push your feet into the floor. Now instead of thinking, I'm going to bring my hips higher, I'm going to think, I'm going to bring my sternum to my chin. It probably will get your hips a little higher, but what you can see is that arch, well, maybe you can see it, my shirt's kind of floppy. You can see that arch went up higher into my back. Here's our usual bridge, just focusing on lifting my hips. Now here's sternum to chin. And that kind of moves the whole arch towards your head. Lot stronger squeeze from your glutes, and you're going to feel that one in your upper back a little bit more. You're going to get a nice stretch up the back of your neck. So this is a good one. Really pay attention to where those knees are going. I know you can't turn and look, so you got to really focus in and keep those knees pointed forward over your toes. And then bring it all down. That's going to feel real nice. Little back massage. If you have a ball that you can put between your knees, that's actually not a bad way to do this, because that'll help you get that proprioception of where your knees are, even when you can't see them. So the next one we're going to do is crab pose. So this one is going to use the same squeeze to lift your hips, but this time we're going to be working that upper body a little harder. So you're going to feel this. We're going to start with half crab. So feet, again, hip distance, knees, hip distance. This time though, hands are going to come back behind you. Press your palms into the floor. Elbows are going to stay locked out and strong. Fingers are pointed back behind you. First step, retract your shoulders and depress your shoulders. So you're thinking of pushing the floor away, not to lift your shoulders up, but to lift your sternum up. So big difference. And we all have different levers, so your hands might be in a different spot than mine. So find the place where you can feel that squeeze between your shoulder blades and you can feel that lift for your sternum. So you're going to feel a nice squeeze between those shoulder blades. Lots of strength back there. So this is half crab. This can be pretty intense. So hold that for a few nice deep breaths and then just shake it out. And we're going to go from half crab into full crab and really pay attention to your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders. And if anything hurts in full crab, any little electric zingy twinges, then come back down into half crab. You're still getting strong in your upper back in half crab, but it's without having to stretch those shoulders quite as much as in full crab. So here's full crab. Let's start with half crab. So find that first. And then what you're going to do is press your feet into the floor and you'll lift your hips kind of the way you did in bridge. That challenge in this one is to not let your chest drop. You're going to feel this in your shoulders. Squeeze your glutes, start lifting your hips. Knees are going to end up over your ankles. Hips eventually will make a straight line. So you'll eventually have a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. But the challenge here is to avoid dropping your chest down between your shoulders. So you've got to really push the floor away. Squeeze those shoulder blades together underneath you. So you're going to feel a big stretch through your shoulders. Now, to avoid torturing our neck, think of tucking your chin in towards your throat. So instead of hanging out back here, where you're really working the muscles in your neck, get a little chin tuck, just a little chin tuck. And then lower down and shake it out. So that can be a really intense stretch on your shoulder, because not only are you stretching that arm back, you're putting weight on it. So go easy on this one to start, but then gradually build it up, because this is one of those moves that is going to help to strengthen all that connective tissue through your joints, especially that elbow. It's going to strengthen your wrists and it's going to make your shoulders bomb-proof. So I really recommend this one. So let's just do it again. Whether you're doing half crab or full crab, you can either stay here in half, shoulders back and down, squeezing, retracting, depressing, lifting your sternum, press your feet into the floor, squeeze your butt, lift your hips up. Or you can just stay down in that half crab, whichever is working for you, and you might not be able to get those hips all the way up. That's okay. Even if you're here, as long as that chest is still really tall, you're getting every bit of the benefit for those shoulders. You're still getting stronger. The thing you can't do is sacrifice up here. So don't let your chest fall. Keep your chest tall, and then your hips will get high too. And take it down and shake it out.